He's returned.
Hope that's not true. Let's call the Monday, November 7th, 2022 meeting of the Dalton City Council to order. Mr. Mock will lead us in the pledge. To the flag of the United States of America, which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The agenda is before you. Any additions, corrections, deletions?
Motion to approve is written.
Motion by
Sam's.
Ms. Sams. It's been a while since we've done this. Second. Second by Mr. Fair. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Anybody from the public, we get anything? No public commentary? If Candace, you'll meet me down front, we'll do this proclamation. This is for a proclamation for Small Business Saturday, November 26th, 2022. Shop small. Whereas according to United States Small Business Administration, there are 32.5 million small businesses in the United States that employ 46.8% of the employees in the private sector. And whereas 79% of consumers understand the importance of supporting the small businesses in their community on Small Business Saturday, 70% report the day makes them want to encourage others to shop small. Independently owned retailers, 66% report that the day makes them want to shop small all year long. And whereas 58% of shoppers reported they shopped online with a small business and 54% reported they dined or ordered takeout from a small restaurant, bar, or cafe on Small Business Saturday in 2021. Whereas the city of Dalton supports our local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our communities. Whereas advocacy groups, as well as public and private organizations across the country, have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. Now therefore be it resolved, I, Mayor David Pennington, hereby proclaim November 22nd and 26th, 2022 is Small Business Saturday in the city of Dalton, and urge our citizens to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday throughout the year. Thank you, Candace, what you do for us.
Thank you.
Next is a special presentation from Jake Hollis, Code Compliance Brief.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor and Council. As a code compliance brief from April of earlier this year, transition has been complete from code enforcement as law enforcement to code compliance is under the city administrator's office. Vehicles have been relettered and reconformed to look more like public safety vehicles versus law enforcement. Dress code has changed. As you can see, myself and Inspector Lou Allen and the khaki pants are light blue shirts to get away from law enforcement. We've shifted from reactive complaints only to a more proactive attempt to enforce the Blythe within the city. Currently, we're operating without a records management system. All records are collated on notebook pads, still notebooks, Microsoft Office, and JPEG formats. Average of 4 cases per day since May 1st, 2022. It requires further more in-depth investigation. In a 48-day span, a total of 120 cases were received and assigned for further study. These cases required multiple follow-ups, reviews, and in-depth investigation. The above numbers do not reflect what we consider knock and talks or just approaching citizens, asking them to clean up things such as weeds or high grass. Approximately 682 contacts have been made since April 18th, 2022. The abatement within the city's voluntary abatement program has proven to be very, very helpful in abating some of these properties that have extreme Blythe. To date, we have 9 properties that have participated to or in the barrel right now, coming down the barrel to be abated as we speak. Removal of these structures have vastly decreased the dangers of structural collapse and illegal activities within the city and the reduction of disease and pest, et cetera, et cetera. Average cost being from $5,000 to $8,000. Our more frequent violations, obviously, as I just previously spoke, is dilapidated structures, poorly maintained. Some of it's just because of education. People don't realize that they've been gone that far. Overgrown vegetation, rubbish or garbage, dilapidated accessory structures, fences is a big problem, storage buildings, and then signage violations. Today alone, myself and the other inspector picked up approximately 82 signs throughout the city that were in violation. As you can see of the pictures, this is a recent dilapidated structure without giving the addresses. This is what we are running into on a daily basis. This is one of our special projects that went on for many, many years. As you can see, the before on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side is the new improved structure where it's been upgraded. This is another one of our blight locations on Glenwood Avenue that Public Works assisted us in with our abatement program. Central Avenue, one more. This is the CSX railroad lot on Glenwood Avenue that became overgrown, that working between ourselves and CSX came to an agreement that the city abated that and they paid for the restorations. And then there it is afterwards. This is another one of our big issues right now. This is a not permitted structure in which they built several decks that were not only dilapidated, but dangerous. They were made to remove those. This is the current state we're in now. I recently got an update that they're working with an architect now to try to facilitate some type of arrangement to get it up and going. If there's any other questions, feel free to contact me at the information posted above. And I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Have any questions for Jake?
Question?
I just have a comment that people around town are, continuing to say how good things look, but it almost brings more criticism when people start to notice the positive changes. They say, but can't we do this and do that? So I'm glad to know that you have a little more extra help. But what you guys are doing is making a difference. And things are looking a lot better.
Thank you.
Good job. As you well know, this is extremely important to the council. And welcome.
Yeah, welcome back.
Hopefully we'll behave better than the people you've been flying around with. The minutes are before you for the mayor and council minutes of October 17th, 2022. Any additions, corrections, deletions?
Motion to approve is written.
Motion by Ms. Sams. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Goodlet. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Work session minutes of October 28th, 2022 are before you. Any additions, corrections, deletions?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Ms. Sams. Is there a second? Second. Second by Mr. Farrell. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. New business number 4, Comcate software agreement for code compliance.
Sir, as Inspector Hollis just teed me up for, there are currently no automated record management systems that code enforcement are using. They're really old school right now with steno pads and spreadsheets, things like that. And so we have, over the last couple of months, been demoing several different code enforcement software platforms so that when a violation is observed or reported, it can be logged into that system, very similar to law enforcement's Spillman system. And we will, it can also generate letters, notice of violation letters, and track those. We know if this is third high grass case we've worked at this location months or something like that. Very cost effective solution. It's based on the population of our city. So the one-time fee is $7,390. They will also import all of our GIS records. So we'll know exactly what the parcel ID is, what the property owner's information is. That all sounds pretty straightforward, but right now, as you could imagine, they're having to identify these issues in the field, come back to the office, generate a letter that's ultimately mailed to the property owner. So this will streamline that process and allow them to make more contacts by inspector. And this will be paid for through their budget, the code enforcement budget.
Questions? There a motion? Motion by Mr. Mock. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Sams. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Number 5, adoption of the 2022 millage rate at the rollback rate of 22.07 mils.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Council. We've discussed the tax digest several times in the Finance Committee meeting, and I am making the recommendation that we set the millage rate at 2.207 mils, which is the rollback rate as calculated. Do you have any questions?
Are we the last to do this? Has everybody else
I
done it?
think the county school boards may be taking action tonight as
Okay.
well. Understand from the tax commissioner that they anticipate bills going out on the 20th. This month.
Questions? There a motion? Motion by Mr. Mock. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Goodlet. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Number 6, 2023 contract with the Dalton Convention Center for Municipal Court. I'm sure it's supposed to be yeah, it must be.
Aaron Counselor, good evening. Let's try this again. Good
Got
evening.
there.
Yeah. As you know, we've been holding court every Monday up at the Trade Center. We've been under a contract that expires at the end of the year. We have negotiated with the Trade Center for a new contract that goes month to month, hoping that we find a new home, that we're not up there indefinitely. And so it allows either party to terminate the contract with 30 days notice. The weekly rate is exactly the same as what we've been paying this year. And so I would recommend that we adopt, that you approve the contract.
Where are we at with the new location?
Working out the terms of the lease, city attorney and I actually were on the phone first thing this morning about it. So we're close. There's some issues we're working through, but we still think that the location we've been studying is very viable.
Any other questions? There a motion? Motion by Mr. Farrow, or second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Sams. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Number 7, right-of-way encroachment request for signage installation for North Georgia National Bank at 1412 Chattanooga Avenue. Chad?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This request is to approve the right-of-way encroachment for installing a new sign for North Georgia National Bank at 1412 Chattanooga Avenue. This request has been approved by the Public Works Committee. With that, I'll take any questions.
Reason for this? What?
So there was an existing sign from the previous bank or credit union, Georgia United Credit Union. The previous sign had got either demolished or damaged in a car accident. They're not sure exactly how it was removed, but it was removed in the time of their purchasing or lease agreement phase of them acquiring the property. And they just want to reconstruct the sign kind of as is at the same location.
On our right-of-way before, whatever?
It was, the city's got a really odd right of way through this location that if it was ever widened, the right of way was already acquired. So if they have to put the sign outside the right of way, it'll actually be in the detention pond. Where the detention pond was constructed. You can see that in page 44 of your packet. But their request is just to go back in kind with the similar sign that Georgia United had at that location.
Any other questions? There a motion? Motion by Mr. Mock. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Goodlet. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Number 8, contract change order request SP 189 Walnut North Centrifugal Spin Cast Concrete Pipe Lining Project.
This request is to approve the contract change order totaling $5,342 for performance and payment bonds for the project. Performance and payment bond is required for an amount equal to the contract amount for all public works construction projects that exceed $100,000. If this is approved, project will still remain under budget. With that, I'll take any questions.
Where is this one? Where is this one?
This is within the North Walnut Drainage Improvements Projects.
I said
Going from-
this is Ridge Street, Valley Drive. all
Yes,
this
yeah.
one is, okay. Any other questions? Your motion? Second by Mr. Goodlet. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Number 9, 2023 new alcohol beverage application.
have that, Mayor. Is there, applicant Nancy Hernandez here this evening? Hi, Ms. Hernandez. If you can come forward, please. This application is for a new license for pouring beer at a restaurant. The location of the restaurant is 1215 North Thornton Avenue. The business name is Taqueria El Rey #2. Ms. Hernandez, are you familiar with our license, our liquor beer license for the city, and we take underage drinking very seriously, and okay, do you have any questions? Okay, thank you for doing business in the city of Dalton, and we wish you the best.
Thank you.
I would like to put this in the form of a motion to approve.
Motion by Ms. Sams, is there a second? Second by Mr. Mock. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. There being no supplemental business, we do have announcements. The city council meeting scheduled for Monday, November 21st, 2022 has been rescheduled for Monday, November 14th, 2022. City offices will be closed Thursday, November 24th and Friday, November 25th for the Thanksgiving holidays. Also, we lost another very valuable member of our community, Trammell Scott, in the last week since we met the last time. Trammell was a business leader here, just a wonderful person. And he's a former city councilman. When, you remember when it was? All right, on the Dalton City Council. We're losing too many like this. Do I hear a motion? We adjourn. We're adjourned.
Thinking late seventies, early eighties.
Figure out how we can. I
Well, he ran against Jimmy Young in '84. So he'd been on the council before.
Think about the best diplomatic way to